New video captures a chase and a crash involving a Lynn County deputy. The sheriff's office says the deputy risked his life to stop a wrong-way driver.
A survey released today shows which school consolidation plan people prefer in the Cedar Rapids School District. We'll look at the changes people appear to like most and least.
Today, hundreds of high schoolers in Iowa City walked out in protest against ICE. We speak to students about the changes they want to see.
Live from your trusted local news source, KCRG News starts now.
And you're taking a look at new video from a chase between a Lynn County deputy and a wrong-way driver last night. The deputy driving parallel to get that wrong-way driver on Highway 100 to stop. But when that didn't work, he tried another way to get the driver's attention. Good evening, I'm Jim Mertens.
And I'm Beth Malicki. DOT cameras capture the moment. A Lynn County deputy tries to stop a wrong-way driver, then gets out, jumps the median. Did you see that? He just kicked that vehicle trying to get the driver's attention.
Now, this crash also later happened at around 7:30 last night on Highway 100 on the Cedar River Bridge. It ended in a head-on crash between the wrong-way driver and the driver of the deputy. Let's take a look at that, because this is video of the moments following that crash, where a massive police presence could be seen all along Highway 100. And KCRG-TV9's Lacey Reeves joins us in the studio to explain how that deputy was able to finally stop the wrong-way driver before anyone else was hurt.
The Lynn County deputy was getting off of I-380 when he noticed a driver going the wrong direction on Highway 100. And that's when the deputy started following the driver while going the correct direction parallel to the driver. But the driver kept going the wrong way for over 3.5 miles until he crashed into the deputy on Highway 100 while on the Cedar River Bridge.
And you can see the officer climbing over the barrier, trying to get over there and to stop them. They don't, and that's where you know. Now it's escalated from not stopping, acknowledgement not stopping, to continue going.
A Lynn County deputy risked his life while trying to stop a wrong-way driver on Highway 100 in Cedar Rapids. When driving parallel to the driver didn't work, the deputy tried to stop him by hand.
At one point, got out, tried to flag the person down by parking on the median, by speeding ahead and parking over the median, kind of jumped over the median and tried to flag him down. And then that didn't work, so they continued on.
Officers continued to use their sirens, flashing lights, and spotlights to protect other drivers while keeping up with the wrong-way driver. But that's when the deputy took action yet again.
The deputy decided to speed up, go across the Cedar River Bridge, and then kind of turn around. He was able to slow the traffic down. However, the driver that was going the wrong way ended up hitting our deputy in the squad car head on.
The chase ended in a crash. The deputy and the wrong-way driver had minor injuries, and the deputy is already back home from the hospital.
We don't want to take people head on. That's not exactly what our goal is in this. Our goal was hopefully that if people see the traffic stopped up ahead, that the person would actually just stop because there's nowhere to go.
Now, the Lynn County Sheriff's Office says the driver could face charges for operating while intoxicated, as well as charges for driving the wrong way from the Iowa Highway Patrol. In the studio, Lacey Reeves, KCRG-TV9 News.
And once again, thankfully, nobody else was hurt. Now, if you had the KCRG-TV9 News app, you saw the latest video of this wrong-way crash first on our live streaming coverage. Now, the best way to get this breaking news is with the free KCRG app for mobile devices or smart TVs. You'll get live breaking news updates as they happen. Scan this QR code or search KCRG in your device's app store.
And now here's meteorologist Joe Winters with a check of your first alert forecast.
And despite a little more cloudiness today, the temperatures came up as the southwest winds were with us, and that will continue as we head through the next 9 days. In fact, above normal conditions are expected. There are a couple of weak systems, some flurries as well as a little light drizzle possible tonight in the form of some freezing drizzle, especially across northeast Iowa. Had a few flurries last night. All could lead to some slick travel. We'll show you where on Pinpoint Futurecast. Let's look at the day. That's our Coralville City Cam. and the clouds you see stayed with us the entire day with some breaks. Breaks came just at the right time to bring Coralville a beautiful sunset tonight, and highs today in Coralville made it into the mid to upper 40s. Right now, our current temperatures sit at 37 in Cedar Rapids, 42 in Coralville, and 36 in Waterloo. Winds are fairly light, 5 to 10 out of the north and west. Our zone cast overnight, that slight chance of that wintry mix in our northeast zone. Everywhere else dry, but some clouds in and out of the skies with overnight lows near 30 degrees. We'll see how warm it gets next week coming up.
Thanks, Joe. The Cedar Rapids School District released results from a district survey on 3 options for consolidating buildings and closing up to 7 schools.
Now, the district faces a budget shortfall after years of declining enrollment. The intermediate plan did receive the most support among those surveyed, with 60% of staff and 55% of families in support of it. Now, this would shift 5th and 6th grades into separate intermediate buildings. Then middle schools would house just 7th and 8th grade students. 27% of staff, nearly 26% of families supported another plan. This one is to have middle schools house 5th through 8th grades. And the plan to move to 2 high schools in Cedar Rapids had the least support, with 13% of staff and 9% of families backing that. This would also convert Kennedy High School to a middle school. Now, the Cedar Rapids School Board will vote on its preferred plan on Monday. At that point, the district plans to hold more public input sessions before the board makes a final decision. That's set for April. And we'll have the full breakdown on the results coming up on the KCRG-TV 9 News at 10.
Hundreds of high school students and community members gathered at the Pentacrest in Iowa City to, quote, melt ice, protesting immigration enforcement. KCRG-TV 9's Jocelyn Pisha spoke to organizers and attendees about why they walked out of school and work. Jocelyn?
Those students came from City High, West, and even Southeast Junior High. On their march around the old Capitol, their message was clear. The group called for change to immigration enforcement by abolishing ICE. Some signs read, "The Pilgrims were undocumented," and "We love immigrants." I spoke with student protesters who said they wanted to stand up for what they think is right. They also emphasized that young people are the future of the nation. One organizer, a student from West High, said she decided to plan the walkout because she felt tired of her neighbors being scared, saying even some participants were apprehensive about protesting today.
I want to see my friends not be scared to speak Spanish to their family. I want to see their little siblings not be scared about if they're in elementary school and they're scared if they're going to be taken away and deported into places they've never been. That is not how we should live.
Speakers included City Council member Oliver Weiline and high school students who asked participants to call legislators and know their rights. In the studio, Jocelyn Pisha, KCRG-TV 9 News.
Dozens of Iowans who live in mobile homes met at the Iowa State House today to support legislation aimed at keeping their homes safe and affordable. Residents say out-of-state companies that own those parks routinely raise lot rent so much that it's nearly impossible to afford to stay, but it's too expensive to move. They showed up today in Des Moines in matching purple t-shirts. They hope to get lawmakers' attention, but also hope for help from many of their neighbors.
If you're only getting $1,000 a month, that's hard to live on, to pay your insurance and that. They can't even afford a Happy Meal. I mean, this isn't right. This is supposed to be their golden years, and they have nothing to look forward to. A lot of them are just struggling.
Democratic State Senator Zach Walz is co-sponsoring legislation that would require at least a 180-day notice for any rent increases, new limits on mobile home rent increases, late fees and utility charges, as well as increased civil penalties for manufactured home community owners who violate state law. New research from the University of Iowa shows why Iowa's cancer rates are so high.
And the governor says she has new legislation aimed at changing this. Stay with your trusted local news source, KCRG-TV 9.
Not too hot, not too cold. Goldilocks winter comfort.
Governor Kim Reynolds announced a new bill that she's proposing to cut, or that will tax rather, products like hemp and vapes. The bill would also remove foods with any added dyes from school lunches.
It's all part of a bigger plan to reduce Iowa's cancer rates. And KCRG-TV 9 Iowa Capitol reporter Isabella Warren heard from the governor and health officials on their efforts to learn more about the state's high rates.
Iowa ranks second highest in new cancer cases in the entire country. New findings from a state cancer research team show that that number could grow or stay the same in future years.
Cancer is complex. Cancer risk and outcomes are influenced by multiple factors, individual behaviors, environmental exposures, genetics, and importantly, access to prevention, screening, and timely high-quality care.
A state-funded team of scientists from the University of Iowa delivered research on why Iowa's cancer rates are so high. Doctors diagnosed more than 2,500 Iowans in 2022 with cancers than if the state had the same predicted rate as the overall U.S. Melanoma, lung cancer, and prostate cancer were some of the highest. The research looked at multiple different factors, including smoking, obesity, and binge drinking. Researcher Dr. Jacob Olson says nearly all of Iowa's counties have higher rates of cancer than the national average.
87 of Iowa's 99 counties are listed as significantly higher than the national trend. And this is unadjusted numbers without adjusting for any other factors other than age and sex.
Officials say they will use this research to better understand factors across the state that could be contributing to the high cancer rates. A full report is expected in July. In Des Moines, I'm Isabella Warren.
A new partnership aims to bring more doctors to rural communities in Iowa.
Leaders at one local hospital say the key to filling the gap is giving medical students a hands-on experience.
Warmer weather today. Take a look at this. Temperatures now from 7 to about 15 degrees warmer than they were just 24 hours ago. And this isn't the warmest we're going to see. We'll show you that next. Keep it here on your trusted local news and weather source, KCRG-TV 9. Winter, it can be a challenge, but you'll always know what's next.
Now, your first alert forecast with meteorologist Joe Winters.
Weather may be fairly quiet, but meteorologist A.J. Rickman is keeping busy, taking the Storm Team Weather Academy on the road. Yesterday, he was at Pierce Elementary, talked to the first graders. They talked about the seasons, water cycle. They made a cloud on a bottle and discussed what the everyday life of a meteorologist is like. Attentive, enthusiastic. That's what A.J. said the kids were like, and they had some great questions as well. And AJ's out tomorrow on the road as well as Saturday. He's a busy man taking the Storm Team Weather Academy to schools across eastern Iowa. Thanks again to Pierce Elementary for having him. Quiet conditions will be with us as we head through the evening. By the morning hours, though, there's the possibility of a little mix. We're talking light wintry mix, some freezing drizzle or a little light snow. Northeast Iowa from about 3 a.m. to possibly 9 a.m. Could leave behind some slick spots on area roadways. And as that precipitation comes to an end, all of us will see the winds increase. Gusts greater than 30, so definitely a noticeable difference from the past several days when we've had winds that have been really fairly light. There's a look at Pinpoint Futurecast, and just watch to the north. You'll see some clouds start to develop, maybe closer to 10 or 11 o'clock. As those clouds move in, there's a little light precipitation with it. And notice that it's kind of that mixed color. If you look over there, yeah, so that means a little freezing drizzle, maybe a little snow mixed in, even a little bit of light rain. It's with northeast Iowa, so our northeast zone from Winnebago County, Fayette, all the way down through Manchester, Dubuque, down toward Macokota. There's 3 a.m., 6 a.m. It's still pretty close, but moving away, and it certainly doesn't move away by that point. You want to check tomorrow morning if you're in that area to make sure that the roads are fine and not too slick in spots. Temperatures overnight close to the freezing mark, thus the mix possible. Partly cloudy skies for the rest of us, with west winds increasing by morning. And tomorrow, more of a northwest wind, gusting greater than 30 at times. That's also highlighted in your first alert. 37 in Decorah, 38 Cedar Rapids, 41 degrees in Washington. Here's the wind gust forecast tomorrow evening, tonight all the way through tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, you see by 5, 6 a.m. close to, if not topping 30 miles an hour, and that continues through the day tomorrow. Temperatures also then, because of that northwest flow, will drop a bit for Saturday. We'll hit in the teens in the morning. It looks like some lower 30s for highs, but then that's the last day we'll see a little bit of a temperature drop, because then things really start to warm up as we work through the end of the weekend, and it's going to be staying warm for a period of time. There's the brief cool down kind of heading our way, and you notice that area of warmth Tuesday, Wednesday, spreading out across the plains, upper Midwest, back into areas of the East Coast, and it looks like it could last There's the 13th through the 19th. Definitely above normal temperatures staying with us across the upper Midwest. Now, that can come with more active weather. That's why you do see the precipitation outlook looking a little bit more active as well. We'll watch and see. The 9-day doesn't look incredibly active. Again, that light precipitation early morning, as we showed you, 38 on Friday, 42 degrees by Sunday after that brief cool down on Saturday. Then the 50s are out there. 53 degrees Monday, 50 degrees on Tuesday. By the mid part of next week, Wednesday, Thursday-ish, we'll be watching a storm move in, see what it could bring, and temperatures, though, still through the end of that stay near 40 degrees.
Yeah, much warmer. Thanks, Joe.
Access to health care can look very different depending upon where you live in Iowa, especially in rural communities.
Yeah, now a partnership between the University of Iowa and rural medical centers is giving medical students hands-on experience with the goal of bringing more providers to areas that are underserved. KCRG-TV 9's Libby Randall has more.
For many Iowans, getting medical care isn't just about making an appointment. It's about how far you have to travel to get there. Second-year medical student Alec Mardikoff knows that firsthand. He spent part of last summer shadowing providers at Waverly Health Center, gaining experience in areas he might not see every day.
Got to be involved in some surgery. I learned about some emergency medicine from their emergency med physicians, and the other big thing was that I got to get some OB-GYN experience.
Mardikoff studies at the Carver College of Medicine, but his roots are in rural Iowa, something he says shaped his understanding of healthcare gaps.
There were times where it'd be a lot harder to get specialized medical care.
At Waverly Health Center, leaders say those disparities are exactly why the partnership matters. CEO Jody Gertz says exposing students to rural medicine early can make a long-term difference.
There's such a need right now for all types of care providers, especially physicians. We're experiencing a physician shortage in our area. And so anything that we can do to help be a part of the solution for that is really what's most important to us.
Gertz says working with students like Mardikoff also shows how personal rural care can be. For him, the experience reinforced the responsibility future doctors have to serve communities like his own.
I think the biggest thing is just making sure that there is education to those in rural areas about their health and about what's kind of going on in their own personal life, and making connections and establishing health care.
By bringing medical students into rural hospitals now, leaders hope more will return, helping to close the healthcare gap for Iowa's small towns. Libby Randall, KCRG-TV 9 News.
A local group says it wants to give back to the Ronald McDonald House in Cedar Rapids, and it's their way of giving back on International Optimists Day. The Ronald McDonald House provides a place for people to stay while their children are in the hospital, and it's a way to keep families together, even if they're far from home. The Optimist Club of Cedar Rapids held today's meeting at the house and got to tour the facility. They also helped make a meal for families in the house before presenting them with a check for $200.
The things that they do for people who are facing challenges is fantastic, and that really is what the Optimist Club is about, bringing out the best in communities, helping those challenged people, and also working with our youth and bringing out the best that they can be.
Volunteers also served meals at the Ronald McDonald House in Iowa City. They received a $1,000 donation. The fourth sanctioned girls state wrestling tournament kicked off in Coralville.
And we'll have plenty of action from the mat as the Class 1A session kicks off day one. Stay with your trusted local news source, KCRG-TV 9.
Take a look at what's on ABC Primetime tonight, starting at 7. Now, KCRG Sports.
The Iowa High School Girls State Wrestling Tournament got underway today at Extreme Arena.
Class 1A schools were in action early, and Colin Davies shows us how that session turned out and where things stand now.
After finishing second as a team last year, Mount Vernon sent 7 wrestlers here. They now sit in striking distance of the title again in third place. Gracie Pinckney, one of the 4 Mustangs who secured her bid into a semifinal, says that they are desperate to be at the top of the podium.
Us 5 seniors want to get that state title, and we're going to keep pushing it until we get that. We're going to push each other just to get that state title, because that would be amazing. First girls team to get that, that's incredible.
As for the team that Mount Vernon finished runner-up to last year, East Buchanan, well, they find themselves in 6th place, now 26 points back at first. But their head coach, Dan Seifel, says he's not counting out his Bucks just yet.
Yeah, I guess we've never really been picked to win, and I mean we've placed second twice, and we were never picked to get that either, you know. So we're kind of a really small school, and yeah, I'd say we're kind of the underdogs, but yeah, we got the girls now, and everyone knows they're going to bring it. So.
Denver phenom Abigail Peterson made extremely quick work of her opponents without exhausting that much effort. 4 of the 5 Cyclones in state are in the semifinals tomorrow as they're in 4th place. They know that to win as a team, they need all the bonus points from pinning that they can get.
Trilly, like Lily Cooper, she really likes to tech people, and we're like, don't do that, you should pin them. And so she'll like sometimes even give up a point to then pin them so she doesn't tech them.
It all sets up for a close title race tomorrow, as individuals will also await to get crowned. Reporting in Coralville, I'm Colin Davies for KCRG-TV 9 Sports.
All right, thank you, Colin. And the Class 2A session began at 4:30, and we'll, of course, have more from our area athletes tonight at 10.
All right, and a final look at that forecast.
Still quiet, a little bit cooler in some spots tonight, especially northeast Iowa. Watch for some mixed precipitation. Not this evening, though. If you're headed out, Solon, Marion, Manchester, all looking pretty good. It's just the northeast, basically near the Mississippi, our northeast zone, Dubuque, Fayette, Clayton, Alameda County. Watch for that overnight tonight, 3 a.m., 6 a.m. time frame. Could create a little slick spot or stretch with temperatures near 20, upper 30s, low 30s next couple of days, in the 40s and 50s. Pretty common early next week.
All right.
And you're feeling that wind, too.
Oh, you'll know that tomorrow for sure.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us for the news at 6.
We'll see you at 10.